We as project development consultant need to advise the local development company on the best development to be carried out on the site as well as option to purchase the land for mixed development. Commercial land in Cyberjaya Selangor is the land that local development interested. The land area is 16.18 acre. This shows our scope of work on feasibility study report.
Next, the location and neighborhood of the site. The site is located at junction of Persiaran Rimba Permai and Persiaran Sepang Cyber 8 Cyberjaya. Cyberjaya is the centralized hub between Kuala Lumpur City and emerging urban south towns such as Sepang, Bangi and Tingkil, which are now conveniently linked with the Causeway Expressways. Other than that, it only takes less than 20 minutes driving to access to Putrajaya City Centre from Cyber 8.
So now I will explain the description of the property. The development will be developed in the center of Cyberjaya. City of Cyberjaya is the ideal place for technology and commercial development. COVID property is the best development suggested in Cyberjaya. COVID has the excellent accessibility and strategically placed. COVID property were 27 minutes from the KLIA and have the express access from the 5 major city, and it is nearby the data center, government agency and university.
Hi, I'm Shafiq. Now, I will explain about the socio-economic study. Okay. In 2017, state government was stated that the daytime population in Cyberjaya is about 102,000 and the increases of the population in 2018 is 110,000, which is 7.8% compared to 2017. The population in Cyberjaya was increased rapidly in 2020 from 110,000 to 210,000, which means 19% compared to the previous year. The expectation population that will use or stay in the Cove 8 development that will be raised, it be 2 over 3 from the population, which is 140,000 people due to the 3 development project. Every expectation met has been taken from the income analysis in Cyberjaya. According to the pay scale, the average salary in Cyberjaya is 58,000 in 2020. It states that the cost of living in Cyberjaya is 100% higher than the national average. The occupation in Cyberjaya are software engineer, network engineer, and project manager, which pay between 20,000 and RM 144,000 per year. Other than that, we have T-System, Experian Group Ltd, International Business Machine, and Dell, and the salary between 11,000 to 145,000. It can show that the income level in Cyberjaya are stable compared to other areas, which means the population can afford to own or rent the Cove 8. It strongly can approve that 2 over 3 from the population can use the Cove 8 as daily use can be achieved.
Housing market in general. According to National Property Information Centre (NAPIC), Selangor's mean house price is RM488,942 and median house price is RM380,000. The total residential property transaction for 2019 in Selangor is 51,981 units, and the median price of property in Cyberjaya is RM507,000 and the median price per square feet is RM536. Cyberjaya is always a hot topic among property investors, with many commercial and residential developments that have arisen. It has made the city an attractive choice for local and foreign business to live, work, and play. Supply of housing units. According to NAPIC, total of existing residential stock for 2019 in Selangor is 1,546,764 units. Selangor's newly launched property in 2019 is 9,970 units, and the number of units sold within 12 months is 3,053 units, which is 30.6%, while the number of overhang property in 2019 in Selangor is 4,687 units. Existing supply. Figure 1 shows the current existing housing developments in Cyberjaya. There are various types of property, which is condominium, terrace house, townhouse, town villa, bungalow, detached house, and semi-detached house, with range price from 245,000 ringgit to 3,855,000 ringgit. While figure 2 shows the newly completed houses for the last 3 years in Cyberjaya. Future supply. Figure 3 shows houses to be completed in Cyberjaya, which the estimated year of completion is 2020, while figure 4 and figure 5 shows houses under construction and houses in the pipeline.
According to Martin Harris 2017, housing demand can be defined as ability and willingness of individuals to purchase a house. Price, facility, safety, and security are the considerations on demand for housing. Currently, 72% of Cyberjaya land has been developed, is under construction or in planning stages. This is because Cyberjaya has become an education hub because university and colleges already established there. Population of students has been estimated in the future will increase because in next 3 years more universities are coming to open their campus. Demand for commercial areas is increasing. We estimate in future, mixed commercial development in Cyberjaya will help to build up the night population in next 3 years. The housing market is very prominent in the industry because they rely very heavily on supply and demand. Supply will equal to demand in the market if the equilibrium price is achieved. To get equilibrium price, supply and demand has against each other. Cyberjaya having more supply than demand is a common process in any location where there are many investors. It has been saying there is an oversupply of residential properties in the past 5 years back. Quality of housing in Cyberjaya is where Cyberjaya was developed based on Malaysia government safe city concept where advanced CCTV system. Market pricing in the context of housing is the current price at which a housing can be bought or sold. The economic theory contends that the market price converge at a point where the forces of supply and demand meet. Market transaction prices in Cyberjaya shows the smallest unit one can find measure 419 square feet and the largest one measures 3,815 square feet. Most development in Cyberjaya leans towards smallest unit, offering units of less than 500 square feet. In Cyberjaya, the market rental rate for residential space is 42 ringgit per square foot per year, with a tenant improvement allowance of 25 ringgit per square foot on 5-year lease.
Office market study. Office sector is one of the main sectors that contributes to economic development. Office sector connected to the success of service businesses, housing and entertainment. It generates employment and daytime activity which supports other businesses such as restaurants, retail, entertainment and personal and professional service businesses. Office buildings are usually designated to low, mid and high rise based on their size. The buildings are often classified into 3 classes that are Class A, B and C. These classifications are all related and based on context, for example, the location of the building and the health of its surrounding market. Office buildings located in the central business district are those that are in the center of the city. Supply in office market. Decentralized office location in KL Fringe and Selangor perform better with both rental and occupancy level holding steady. Cyberjaya provides a better alternative for business since it has the advantage in terms of lower rents and better business networking. The availability of good grade office supply at competitive rentals and the expanding public rail transit lines have increased the popularity of decentralized office location. By referring to the chart, Selangor has 71.6% of occupancy rate and the total space supply in Selangor is 6 million square meter. Current existing office. In the middle of high competition in the tenant-led office market, there is growing availability of good grade space at competitive rents in this mature decentralized office location. Pentagon Suite Service Virtual Office Cyberjaya, Regus, Co-Place, Cyberjaya Office is the current existing office in Cyberjaya. New completed buildings in Cyberjaya is Kensington Business Centre. The new office space supply surely will affect occupancy rate in Selangor. Future supply. Total office space to be completed in Cyberjaya zone is 0.3 million square feet. Based on the figure, office building under construction in Malaysia are 51 buildings that will occupy 2.38 million square meter of space. Office building in the pipeline will occupy about 0.4 million square meter of space with 15 buildings.
According to the Murugia 2019 state that in the second quarter 2019 in real estate, the firm said that for the medium-long-term security, it expects a growing trend of repurposed all office building, while alternative uses will be explored for a new or under construction building, which means the process of renovation will be due to the demand of the user. It will help for the future of supply and demand will be stable. Based on Nawawi Tai Leong Property Consultant (NLTP), the increasing supply and decreasing occupier demand for office space are expected lead to challenge for the office market in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor for future. Compared to the high-rise residential, the percent of demand and supply are higher than the office space. It will be give impact to the supply and demand of office space. Other than that, it said tech company and co-working space are anticipated to drive the office market for the coming few quarters. Mahalingam said the Valuation and Property Service Department JPPH said the first quarter of 2019 for average rate of occupied office space was increased to 23.5% compared with first quarter in 2018, which is 22.6%. Cyberjaya are better alternative for business since it has the advantages in terms of lower rents and better business networking. In view of new supply, the Cove 8 expect the average occupancy rate in Cyberjaya to be slightly impacted in the future. Nevertheless, the outlook for the PJ office market in the next 5 years remains bright as the market still has room to grow. Table shows the average rental rates are M per square feet per month in Selangor. The data shows for the 4 years from 2015 to 2018, the focusing rental rates in Cyberjaya. It was divided into two categories, which is Grade A and Grade B. In 2015, for the first quarter for the grade was maintained from quarter 1 to quarter 4, which is 4.28, while for the grade B decreased from the first quarter 4.15 to the second quarter 3.88 and still remain the same until fourth quarter. In 2016, the rental rates for Grade A slightly reduced compared to the previous year. From the first quarter and second quarter are the same rate, which is 4.28 and reduced to 4.27 in third quarter and fourth quarter. Rental rates for Grade B was increased from 3.88 to 3.99 for the first and second quarter, 3.96 for third quarter and fourth quarter. In 2017, the rental rates for the first and second quarter are different 0.01 with the third and fourth quarter for the grade A. Grade B the first For the grade B, the first and second quarter still remain the same, that is 4.09, and third and fourth quarter is 4.10. In 2018, the rental rates are increased compared to the previous year. For grade B, the rates are remain the same from the first quarter to third quarter, which is 3.96, while rate for grade B is the same 4.10 from the first quarter to third quarter. The overall for the rental rates in Cyberjaya from 4.20 4.22 to 4.28. And that's all. Thank you.
Definition of retail sector. Retail is the sale of goods to the public in relatively small quantities for use or consumption rather than for resale. Retail refers to the activity of reselling. Retail sector is one of the many sectors that helps the country's economy that is made up of businesses that sells goods straight to the customers through retail stores, kiosks, hypermarkets or online. A retailer is any person or organization or a reseller who sells goods and services directly to consumers or end users. Retailers often get their goods directly from the manufacturer. In retail sector, the buyer is the end users. Next, classification of retail center. Different types of shopping malls have some different characteristics because they are built to meet the tastes and needs of different types of consumers. They have their own categories. For each shopping center comparison, there are 6 criteria to be compared, which are floor size, anchor tenants, variety of product, locational aspect, concept, and configuration, presentation, and design. The next one is retail market. The market for the sale of the goods and services to consumers rather than producers or intermediaries. Retail market involves companies that operate and sell their goods and services at a specific location, such as stores, online platforms such as e-commerce or online retailing. Any company that sells their products and services to the public is automatically involved in the retail market. For example, a retail clothing store sells to people who will most likely wear the clothes. It does not include the sale of the clothes to other stores who will resell them. The retail market industry consists of 3 predominant sectors, that is multi-line retail, specialty retail, and internet retail. Moving on to the supply of retail space in shopping complexes. Shopping centers in Malaysia also grew rapidly in the past 2 decades in terms of the number and total space. According to the National Property Information Center (NAPIC), the total space of shopping centers in Malaysia in 1996 was 2,624,569 square meters and has increased to 14,638,030 square meters in 2016. As of 2015, 59 out of 465 shopping centers in Malaysia are located in Kuala Lumpur. By 2021, 27 new malls are expected to be ready in Greater Kuala Lumpur. From the data on occupancy rate of shopping centers reported by NAPIC, there is an oversupply of shopping centers in Malaysia, especially in Greater Kuala Lumpur. Next is existing supply. As of 2019, the existing supply for shopping complex is 1,036 complexes. Selangor has the highest total space with an occupancy rate of 82.1%, followed by Kuala Lumpur at 3.4%, Johor 75.3%, and Pulau Pinang 73.7%. The next is future supply. Based on figure 3, we can see the data for building to be complete and building under construction, while figure 4 shows the data for building in the pipeline.
So now I'll be explain the monthly income analysis from the shopper around the Cyberjaya. As we can see here, in the survey, there's 43% household income between 1,001 to 250, and 32% household income is below than 1,000 per month, as we can see here. And now I'll be explaining the spendable income analysis. The survey also attempt to find out the amount of respondents spend on each shopping trip. So from the pie chart, we can see that 90% of the respondents spend below than 20 ringgit. 29% of the respondents spend between 21 ringgit to 50 ringgit, and 25% of the respondents spend between 51 ringgit to 100 ringgit, and lastly 27% spend above 100 ringgit each in each shopping trip. So it is a good place to And now I'll be explaining the supply and demand analysis. From the development, we have the tenant mix. Tenant mix can be referred to the combination of business establishment occupying space in the shopping mall to the form a platform that produce optimum sale, rent, service to the community and ability to finance the shopping mall venture. So in the COVID Central, the anchor tenant of the property is Sogo and Co. Yes.
Proposed development. COVID Property is our new 16-acre mixed development consisting of residential and commercial property. This development comprises of a 5-story shopping mall and 4 towers of COVID residential, each with different floor area. COVID residential will stand tall at 33 stories for each tower, consisting of 1,149 units in total. The floor area for shopping mall is 1,320 square feet. Residence 1 has the largest floor area among other residences, which is 1,251 square feet, followed by Residence 2 and Residence 3, which has a floor area of 986 square feet each. Lastly, Residence 4, which has a floor area of 990 square feet.
Financial analysis. Based on the calculation that has been made using residual approach and cash flow approach, there is a slightly different in total development cost in cash flow approach because the cash flow approach doesn't include holding costs in the TDC. That results in higher developers' profit. Of cash flow approach, the duration of completion of the proposed project is 4 years, equal to 16 quarters. The land cost is 105,720,999 ringgit. The net present value is 375,627,701 ringgit. The internal rate of return is 35.91%. Based on the viability result, the proposed development of Cove 8 property is viable because it met all the viability requirements and recommended to proceed the development. Profitability statement. Based on the calculation, the developer's profit in cash flow method is higher than residual method with 530,229,155 ringgit, then residual method 454,226,424 ringgit. Profit as percent from GDV in residual method is 27.85% and in cash flow method is 32.51%. Profit as percent from TDC in residual method is 38.61% and in cash flow method is 54.87%.
In financial analysis, Developers' profit can be achieved by residual approach and cash flow approach. As team project development consultant, we advise a local development to purchase the 16.18 acre land in Cyberjaya to make a mixed residential and commercial development because this development is profitable and viable.